Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the HerStory Online Summit. This is Gertrude Macha here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I bring you yet another fascinating speaker here to share her story and enlighten you. So, Roula, Selinas, thank you so much for being our speaker for the day. Please introduce yourself, tell everybody where you are, and share your story with us today.
Hi everyone, I'm Roula Selinas. I live on the Gold Coast, Australia, and I do what I do because I'm a double cancer survivor, and the first cancer changed my life and set me on a different path, and I wanted to help people with what I've learnt, and I became an author and a speaker, and since then I've become a registered counsellor and I have my own practice, and I love helping people. I'm passionate about what I do because I feel that it's my purpose.
Roula, you were going to share what you do. You want to share your presentation?
Yes, I'm about to share my presentation. Yes, just bear with me. Okay, a little tricky. Why is it not coming up? Entire screen. I'm having a problem here.
You're having a problem?
I'm pressing the entire screen, but it's not coming up.
Try and share a window.
Okay.
When you press present, share screen, you can either...
Okay, got it. Share a window.
Got it?
Yes. Okay, so, well, welcome everyone. I acknowledge the tradition and custodians of the land. Have you ever felt stuck or not known how you're going to get through things? I know I have. It was April 2007, and that was when my life changed forever. I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and without treatment, I had a few months to a few weeks to live. I had one of the most intensive chemotherapies available. I was away from my family for over a year. I've been knocked down so many times, but I've had to climb that mountain to get back up over and over again. I was faced with so many setbacks and complications. 2 years later, I almost died from pneumonia, and I had a mild stroke. But I was determined to get back to how I was before the cancer. I had so many challenges facing me: chronic fatigue, physically, mentally, spiritually. It challenged me on every level. It also tested my marriage, and we ended up breaking up, and my world had collapsed under me. I was shattered, and I found myself alone for the very first time. It took me a long time for me to build up my strength and be fit, strong, and happy again. 10 years it took me. But 10 years post-transplant, I was delivered another news where I had another cancer, a second cancer. And to say I was devastated is an understatement. But it's not what happens to us, it's how we get through it. It's how we show up and how we want to move forward. Are you going to be a victim or a victor? We are facing an epidemic: suicide, cancer, depression, drug or substance abuse. And cancer's on the rise. Mental health is on a all-time high. And so is suicide and depression. But I had a vision that with everything that I had learned, I can help people, I can change and save lives. And that's what inspired me to become an author and a speaker. And then it was a natural progression to become a registered counsellor and a life coach. For a long time, I was limited. I thought it was a burden to have this cancer. But now I see the gifts that it's given me, because we can thrive after crisis hits. We can do everything and much, much more when we learn to look within. I didn't even know if I was going to make it through that first year. So to be here 17 years later is a blessing, and I'm living my life purpose. I've spoken on many platforms: Clinical Counselling Centre, Ignite Brisbane, and I'm doing things I would have never, ever done before. I've been voted most popular coach, and I get to help people. I get to help change and save lives. So when I started out, I thought even if I could change one person's life, and for me to be doing this as a speaker and an author and also as a counsellor and a life coach is amazing. I love what I do, and I love to see people's journey. I love to see them transform. Today, I want to share with you my strong techniques. It's an acronym I created. Set an intention. Take action. Reprogram your negative thoughts to positive thoughts. Be an overcomer. Never lose your faith, and be grateful for what is working in your life. Remember that you have unlimited potential within you. We can rewrite our story at any time. Use your obstacles and crisis or failures that you've learned as stepping stones to get to where you want to go. So just don't forget, are you going to make a decision? Are you going to commit? Are you going to take action? Are you going to be consistent with that action? And are you going to do whatever it takes to get to where you want to go? So I hope you got value out of that presentation. We can open it up to questions.
Absolutely wonderful, Roula. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. It's just amazing what can happen when you're faced with adversity and you find ways to overcome it. I remember when I was recovering from heart failure, someone saying to me, you have to take everything that's in your path, every obstacle, as a rock on your journey, but instead of jumping over the rocks, turn them over and see what's underneath and explore what you're supposed to learn from each of those challenging experiences. So, what would you
Yes.
say has been your learnings with all of these challenges that you've gone through?
Oh, there's so many, Gertrude. I
Mm,
would say resilience is one of them.
yes.
Setting boundaries, and what else? Setting boundaries is a big one for me,
Yeah.
and not realizing how resilient I am. If you can tap into that inner power and inner will within, it's really powerful.
Mm, that's really good. Now, can you share with us the moment when you decided to shift your path towards helping others after your cancer diagnosis? And what was that turning point for you?
Sure. I remember being on a kayak one day. We lived on the water, and I was on my kayak. And as I was rowing, I just had a thought that I really would love to be able to write a book to help people with all the techniques that I had learnt.
Hmm.
And that's what inspired me on that journey. So that was the first idea that I got. And it took me 5 years to write that book. I had
Hmm.
so many challenges after that because, as I mentioned, I had a lot of setbacks and complications after the cancer. So a lot of
Right.
things went wrong. I almost died. Viruses, infections, sort of in and out of hospital. My partner and myself broke up. So it took me 5 years to write that book. But that was
Yeah.
the first thing that just on the kayak, I thought I would love to be able to help people with what I've learned. And
Mm,
that was the driving point. And that set me on that journey.
absolutely fascinating. Now, as a double cancer survivor, you've been through immense physical and emotional challenges. How did these experiences shape your approach to counseling and life coaching?
Well, that's why I think I'm so good at what I do, because I really get my clients get results because I know
Mhm.
what it feels like. Everything I help my clients with, what they've been through, I've been through. I know what it's like to feel depressed. I know what it feels like to not know how you're going to get through things. To have your world shattered, to know what it's like to have no control over anything anymore. I'd lost that control, and
Yeah.
I had to develop a trust in the universe and have faith that things were going to be okay, because
Mhm.
the only thing I could control was my mind, was myself, and
Yeah.
how I was going to react to that. And that's why I feel that I'm able to help them, change, because I don't just have formal training, I have lived experience.
Yes. Makes a big difference.
Yes.
Now, you've spoken about your strong techniques for overcoming obstacles. Can you elaborate on how you developed this acronym and how it's impacted your clients' lives?
Well, I developed it because, look, there's where there were times where I wanted to give up. It was so difficult. It really was. But the thing is, we've got to persist. And I developed it because I think they're the essential things that we need to do. Set an intention, take action, reprogram your negative thoughts. It's your mind that controls, that helps you move forward.
Yes.
Be an overcomer. Keep on getting up. Keep on getting up. You're going to get knocked back. And never give up. There's going to be lots of times that you want to give up.
Yeah.
But if we want something so much, we need to persist and develop that resilience and that will
to just keep going.
Yes.
So what was your biggest challenge after your second cancer diagnosis? And how did you find the strength to rise above it and continue your journey?
Well, that was big. So that was unexpected. Well, they were both unexpected. The second one, I was in a really good place. It took me 10 years to get there. Physically, I basically couldn't walk up the stairs during the first cancer because I had become so weak. So building myself up physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually was tough. I had chronic fatigue for years. I still have a little bit, but back then it was a lot. And it took me a long time to get over that and building myself up. I started exercising and so on.
Yeah.
So I was in a really good place. I was with a new partner and I got that diagnosis out of the blue, and that really knocked me down. I did not expect another cancer. And I became very angry. Well, shocked again, shocked. I was in shock and angry, and it took me a while to process it. How can this happen again? So, but I talk about being a victim or a victor. That's really important. How are you going to show up? And I decided that I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to, life is tough. I'm not going to, play that victim thing. I'm going to move forward. I choose to move forward and be happy. I don't want to do that. So it's a choice.
Now, you face some incredible tough times, including these health setbacks, the end of your marriage. What strategies did you use to rebuild your life after such life-altering events?
Well, a lot of the things I mentioned, I started going to exercising. I think I started riding my bike first. I started riding my bike. Then I started going to the gym, building myself up physically because I was so weak. Yeah. My muscles had deteriorated a lot. I had lost a lot of weight during the cancer. And so building myself up physically, the chronic fatigue, I would get exhausted very easily. So, that physically was helping me as well, build that physical and emotional and mental strength.
Yes.
And basically the strategies I've mentioned, I had a vision as to what I wanted to move forward and be and do with my life. And back then it was an author and a speaker, and it's since progressed to, it's like a natural progression to become a counselor and a life coach. And I'm now the founder of Transform Counseling and Coaching. And it's just having a vision. Yeah. And just, again, being resilient.
But it
because I
sounds to me like you could see clearly where you wanted to go, and you got there because that vision was very clear.
yes,
Mhm, mhm.
yes.
So, how has your personal journey of surviving cancer influenced your perspective on mental health, especially when working with clients who may be going through their own crisis?
So how has it influenced
I
with
said,
the
how
mental
has
health?
your personal journey of surviving cancer influenced your perspective on mental health,
Yes, yes,
especially
okay,
when you're working with clients who are going through their own crisis?
yes. Well, very much. I mean, I'm an advocate for seeking help.
Hmm.
It's not good if to keep things inside. We all need help. We
Yeah.
all the research shows that the ones that who have better results or who overcome things are the ones that have support. So
Yes.
I'm an advocate for speaking out about it's not a weakness, it's actually a
Okay.
strength to seek support. It's
Hmm.
takes
Hmm.
courage. So it's not a weakness. So I advocate for that. And I think it's really good. A lot of men, half my clients are men as well.
Mm.
The stigma is changing. And I think it's really good because we all need a helping hand when we're down. And it's really
Yeah.
important to be able to learn techniques that are going to help you with coping skills.
Yes.
So it's about advocating and informing people that's what it's about. Okay,
Mm.
some people have it's a mental illness, but mental health affects everybody.
It
When things
does.
become overwhelming, people can't cope. They're
Mhm.
overwhelmed with stress, and so it's even helping them with strategies to manage stress, anxiety, to
Yeah.
manage the challenging events or their relationships, communication, and so on. But mental health, very important. That's why I'm really passionate about this because it's so
Good.
important to get help. And if I could, I started off saying if I could save one life, I've done my
Mhm.
thing.
You've done your job.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you originally felt your cancer was a burden,
Mm,
but you later saw it as a gift.
mm.
How did you reframe that experience, and how do you help others to see their challenges in a new light?
Well, yeah, for many years I felt it was a burden because I had one thing after the other happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So many setbacks. I didn't see it as gifts until much later when I was better, and I thought I don't know when it came to me whether it was writing the book. I think it might have been that was the start of it, but it was
Yes.
more powerful later when I realized how many things that it taught me, the
Mm,
resilience, the setting boundaries, I always did look after myself, but setting boundaries was a big one. Um,
yeah.
and also I'm doing things I never would have done in a million years.
Yes. Yeah.
I would have never done all these things I'm doing if it wasn't for cancer.
It's
And I
amazing.
Yeah, and I can see the gifts it's given me, and I now get to share those gifts with others and help change and save their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just awesome. Now, you've spoken on many platforms and you've had an opportunity to inspire countless people. What is the most memorable or impactful response that you've received from someone who's heard your story?
Who's heard my story? I had a grown man in tears at the end of the presentation. His son had committed suicide, and he
Mm,
said, thank you so much," and he started tearing up, and just that was really powerful.
mm,
Um, he didn't really say much. It was just that he started, with the tears, and he was really appreciative because it was about teaching him to accept what's happened.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I've had a lot of people say that that was the most one of the most inspirational speakers I've heard. One lady asked me, "Did I make it up?" And, like, she couldn't believe everything I've been through.
Oh
Why
gosh.
would I make that up?
Yeah, yeah. So as a registered counselor and a life coach, how do you balance sharing your own story of survival with focusing on your clients' individual healing journeys?
Yes. Well, as a counsellor, we don't normally disclose really much unless,
Mm.
if there's something that's relevant in the
Yeah.
session, I will say it,
Yes.
because it does. They under, it's a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I will
Mm.
share in those cases.
Yeah.
As a life coach, we share more. Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone who's currently feeling stuck, overwhelmed by life's challenges, much like you once did, and how can they begin to find their own path forward?
Good question. So if they're stuck, well, firstly, look at, are they really stuck? So look at what's going on. Are they really stuck, or do they feel like they're stuck in their mind that they don't have a choice? We all have choices in life as to what we're doing. Maybe they feel stuck in their situation, in their job or something. But we have choices, and you ask yourself, is this what I want to be doing, or how can I change things? How can I improve things? So a big one is also try not to focus on what's not working, and try and focus on what is working and what you can improve. I think would
I
be a
love
good one.
that. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we get so fixated on what's not working,
Yes.
it ends up really paralyzing us.
Mm.
That is so true. My last question for you is a bit futuristic, and I'm going to teleport you into the future.
Oh,
And we're going to go and meet the 90-year-old you, and she's
oh, brilliant.
sitting in her rocking chair, surrounded by her children, her grandchildren, her dogs, her cats, whoever is going to be with you at the end. If I could teleport you into the future to meet this 90-year-old wise woman who's led you to that point, what will you say to her when you finally meet her?
I'm really proud of you. You've overcome so much. I mean, you didn't even know you were going to get through the first year. I'm really proud of you, and I can't believe we're here. It's amazing that life is a gift, and I've been giving 2 or 3 chances at it, and I'm blessed.
I love that. Rilla, the reason why I like to ask that last question is because a lot of women don't realize that the wise woman is already in us. She's that quiet voice that tells you to get up when you don't feel like getting up, go left, go right. And a lot of times we look outside of ourselves for the answers, yet the answers are
Yes,
within.
of course.
So I have a game that I play where I tune into the energy of who I am becoming. And I talk to her. I will go to sleep sometimes and I can ask a simple question like, what is the next step? And I'll wake up in the morning. Sometimes I have those light bulb moments and I know exactly what my next step is.
Mm,
Or I will keep talking about what I'm trying to figure out with the people that I bump into, friends and colleagues. And by the end of the day, I've got the answer.
love
So
that.
it's all about, going inside because I
Yes.
think we are equipped with a solution to every challenge we'll ever encounter in life.
Hmm.
This is
Yes.
why we get those challenges. The answer is within. So thank you for listening to yourself, for listening to your promptings, surviving 2 cancers, and now empowering so many women and so many people with your story. Thank you for
Thank
being with
you.
us today.
Thank you, Gertrude. Before I go, can I just quickly mention the program I have that may
Please.
help some people? Yes.
And if you
So
have a website, type it in the private chat so I can share it on screen.
okay, great. I have to find the private chat though. Okay, so I've got a 4-week coaching program called Empower Her. Now it's in production, and it's a beta test program, and it's about smashing your limiting beliefs and move away from fear and worry and stress and managing those and procrastination and being able to design your life and step into your power. And it's a 4-week coaching program, and it's 70% off. And what they get with that is, my four coaching sessions and also 2 personal one-on-ones with me. And
Right.
yeah, it's starting in October. And if anyone is interested in that, what I ask is, because it's 70% discount, what I ask is that, they help me, give me feedback on this program, how I can make it the best program. And I'll personally hold their hand through this. Yeah. So DM me or message me in the chat. I'll put my email in there in the chat if you direct me to where it is.
I just sent you a little message there. Can you see it? I said hi on the side, right-hand side of the screen.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Private chat. So just put in your website there. And thank you to Dr. Susanna Martin. She is on LinkedIn. She said, good morning, beautiful ladies from Melbourne. Wonderful to see you there, Dr. Susanna. Thank you for being here and listening to our presentation today. It always inspires me when we get some feedback from people online.
Yes.
So I'm going to share your website link if anybody wants to get and take advantage of Roula's program, 70% off. Please go online and find her, ladies. Even if it's not for you, you might know somebody who needs this. So this might not be something for you personally, but there might be someone in your circles who could be of benefit to getting some support and help as well.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Roula.
Thank you so
to
much.
everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow with yet another amazing speaker. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now.
Thank you, Gertrude. Bye.
So Dr. Susanna says that it is late and I'm walking home. Well, get home safely, Susanna. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Roula.